time off and not think about working and career and stuff. I would like to do a film if the opportunity were to arise that I find a good piece of material, and then I could have done a lot of half-wit movies, you know. And then, I don't want to do that though. I did that on television every week, you know. So I don't know. I'm just looking forward to doing whatever it is at the moment that happens to come my way that appeals to me. You know?
The television work is very different from working for a film.
Well, I don't know. I've never done a feature film.
No.
I've always done 4 or 5 years of television.
What would you like?
What kind you prefer?
It's not a question of kind, you know, it's a question of finding the right piece. There's so little that you read these days that has any style to it. It has any taste. It's also derivative, it's also redundant, you know. There's nothing that you read anymore that's really original, that's fresh. So, there's very little, there are a few things, but most of the things are just, you know, derivative of something else, and a little piece of something else, and they put it together, and it's usually... The writing these days, like for television, is terrible, I think. In a whole, I mean, they do good things occasionally, but most of the things they do is just, I think, terrible. So I haven't decided to do any more television.
David, can you explain maybe the first time it was working with Doelen, and you had a concert in Rotterdam, 2 concerts. Is there anything to explain your success at the moment?
No, I don't think that there's anything that you can say. I think in order for anyone to be successful, particularly in the record industry, it's not so much the artist taking a talented guy, because there are a lot of talented guys on the street that are never going to make it. It's a matter of taking that person, walking into the right office at the right time when a record company is looking for someone like him, and putting an entire machine behind it, and putting a lot of dollars into that machine. It's all dollars, you know. I mean, that's what it all boils down to. Getting the record played costs dollars. Getting promotion costs dollars. Promotion meant publicity, blah, 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 outfits, music, costumes, all that stuff. I mean, it all is dollars. And it all boils down to having that machinery. And if you're out there and you're in front of that wave that pushes you, you know, and you're talented, then I mean, I really think that you can survive whatever it is. I mean, whether it's me doing my trip or whoever it is, you know. Anybody can be successful if they have that kind of a machine behind them. Whether they'll be successful for a night and a half or 30 or 40 years, like Sinatra or something else, is something different. You know what I mean? He's a talented man. I mean, I think that if the talent's really there, those people will survive whatever it is that comes their way, you know. But I think the main point I was making is that you have to be, a lot of it is time, people needing to see something or wanting something, and you have to come along and fulfill that need.
Maybe you remember the first time you was in Rotterdam. I had to put on the microphone a little bit lower on the stage. Did it, and everybody thought I was David Cassidy. Do you think that the people are really confused about it, David Cassidy or only phenomenal?
What is it?
The phenomenal. You know, the phenomenon.
Phenomenon.
The great one, strong. Do you think if it's when somebody else should come on stage?
Phenomenal. Like you are phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
You remember the question?
No, I don't remember the question.
You think when I anybody else came up stage? You think it's you or it's the animal?
What he means there, if it's you as David Cassidy or the David the star, you see?
Well, obviously it's David Cassidy the star because they don't know individually, they don't know me as a person. You know, I mean, if I sat down for a week and talked with each one of them, I would think that when I walked on stage, they'd all cry. It's all the hype, it's the machine again. You know, it's the press, it's the photos, it's the publicity, it's the music, it's the television show, it's all of that, you know.
The artist pays for it too.
Well, the artist pays for it too, but I mean, the artist pays in a different way. I mean, he pays monetarily, of course. I mean, you got to have press agents, and you have to have agents and managers and all that, but you pay lots of other prices, you know. Bigger prices than that. Far bigger prices than that.
What's the most important thing for you to do at the moment? What's the most important thing for you to do at the moment? To sing or to film?
To live.
Anyway.
To spend my days doing what I want to do.
That's not around.
You know. I mean, I'm doing what I want to do, essentially. I mean, I'm not going out, no one's telling me that you have to. I do know I have a commitment.
You know, for yourself.
And I've made a commitment. Well, right now, I mean, I'm going from hotel to hotel, and I'm doing touring, you know, and I'm playing concerts and stuff, and I do want to do it. It's such, you know, when I'm on stage, I like it, but it's a matter of getting to the gig and getting off the gig. It's all that other stuff that you go through, you know, to get there. And it's all of it. Yeah, it's this, it's every little thing. It's not just this. If this were the only thing, it would be fine. But it's every one on top of another, and getting in and out of hotels and cars and in and out of concerts and stuff, and flying and taking planes, and not getting enough sleep, and getting my clothes washed, and living and moving from hotel to hotel. It all just really drains you, you know. It really drains you. It also makes you, I don't know, it just makes you feel like you have no roots at all. I forget what day, I forget what week, I forget what month sometimes. I don't know days, I just know. Tell me what time I have to be at the gig, you know. I have to be up in the morning to take the plane, you know.
Do you have any particular life?
Huh?
Do you have any particular part of
Private life. I live with John. Private life.
But you knew all this when you started making records.
No.
You didn't.
How could I know? I mean, I never made a record. I was an actor.
Right.
For 2.5 years, I was working. I was starting to make a little money. I was starting to... Well, it was just it was like making anything else. It was making a pilot. It was like making any other television show I made. And when I did it, well, the thing is that this one, if it sold, which it did, I would make another 25 or 26 shows that year, and who knows whether it was going to be picked up or whether it was going to sell or anything. I just was making it as an actor, you know. I was doing it. It was another job for me. I mean, the singing never even entered into it until it sold, until they looked at me and they said, you know, he's going to be it, you know, and they did that. Let's get lunch boxes and bubblegum cards and all that stuff, you know. That's the price you got to pay, you know. That's one of the prices you got to pay.
You're unhappy with your life?
I'm fine now.
First coming here was really not.
Yeah, it flipped me out for a while, you know. I mean, no one takes you seriously when you're on a bubblegum card or on a lunchbox. I mean, who's going to listen to you and say, I mean, he's an intelligent human being and he's got something to say that's valid. I mean, it's a joke, you know. And also, musically, I wasn't singing. I was just trying to sound like a background singer and trying to please my producer at the time. And I wasn't singing songs I wanted to sing. I sang songs that fit the television show because I was an actor in the television show, you know. So consequently, up until my last album, there was a piece or two, a couple of cuts from other albums that were mine that were honest, but very little of it. I always had to compromise. All the other albums were compromises, you know. This is the last LP I made was the only LP I ever really made that was mine.
Are you really into music?
Yeah, I'd say I was really into it. I play it every day, you know. Yeah. So many books that you can have.
But who are you reading?
What?
What are you reading?
Who am I reading? You're sitting in I'm right here.
Yeah, I'm
Sure.
a singer, but as a matter of fact, alive. No.
One word description of who I am. Well, I'm neat. I don't know. I mean, how can I tell you who I am? You'd have to get to know me for 6 years and say, well, David Cassidy, he's honest and he's weak and he's strong and he's, healthy.
Can you explain who you are?
Can you explain who you are in one sentence? You can't be objective about yourself. Anyway, I mean, we all want to look at each other and say, or we all want to look at ourselves in the mirror and say, gosh, you're really wonderful. We all want to do that, don't you? I mean, everybody we want to say, boy, I really like myself. I'm really terrific, aren't I? But, I mean, the truth of the matter is we all have faults and flaws, and in my armor there's many as there are in yours.
Well, as a matter of fact, I mean, you're a human being, as a matter of fact, and you're a star. You're a star here in Holland, and you're in Europe, and
Yeah.
so about it. So, what's the difference between the two extensions, You're a star and you're a human being.
I'm the same human being. It's just that human being, that person who I was originally before I was a star, was exploited and was taken, that machine, that wave, took that person and pushed him up there, so now we call him a star. I mean, I'm still the same person.
Your private, young people, your friends, not your friends, but the people you have to work with, like people from Mexico, do they take you seriously? If you want something, do they recognize you?
It depends on what you're talking about. It depends on what you're talking about. I mean, there are people that are involved with my...
And not your personal friends, because they obviously know you.
Yeah, I think there are a great many people that know me, that have come to know me in my work and stuff, and musically, that I think do take me seriously, and do, but there are a great many who don't, I think
Can you live with
the ones that know me, I think do, the ones that don't probably just look at the manufactured image and say, well, how can we take that? But I think the ones that get to know me do, at least see me.
But you're happy with that? I mean, you can...
Well, I think eventually, if I were just a piece of clay that someone could mold into an idol or an image or whatever they wanted to do, that were popped out there. The fact is, I wouldn't want to talk to anybody, because I wouldn't want anybody to discover that was all that would be there, And there are people like that. I've met a few. But I honestly feel like there's a hell of a lot more in me than what I've shown, than what I've been able to show. I mean, the reason I wanted to get out of the television show is because it was so confining, and it was so, to me, very repetitious. Everything was the same week, and I couldn't do anything. I couldn't sing the songs I want to sing. I had to act in this little part and play something that was very
Can we go on down there?
On the back door.
Yeah. You're taking care of it, man.
I see. What about word with you? It's mostly lost story in Europe.
As it is. I mean, I may come back in 5 years, or maybe 5 months, 5 years, 15 years, maybe never. But it won't be the same, And it's the last time I'll come back with the trip as it is now, If it ever changes, if it evolves, whatever happens. I mean, I may come back and play pubs and my guitar and and sing a couple of songs.
Something like Rick Nelson, when he's going out to see.
I would not think, I mean, he's coming around again, right. Press is coming around again, the press is coming around with the same thing, you know? I'm not putting he or Rick Nelson down because they've been around a long time, and anyone that can continue a career that long and have a following like they both do, it's good. You got to tip your hat to them. I mean, they're good entertainers, they're good performers, they're good singers, and I mean that makes me happy. I like to see people do that. I like to see people that I would like to see the next person that becomes like a teen sensation, to be a brilliant talent. I mean, that's what I would like to see happen, rather than some kid they pick up off the street all the time. Like, you know, they just find anybody who looks good, and they pick him up. They don't care what he does or what he sings like or anything else like that. And that's what I've had to fight, all those other people that they had before. They just sort of put me in the mold of all of the rest of them. And it's going to be a long haul and stuff, and I've already turned a lot of heads around, you know, and it's just going to be a long haul for me. And I think if it's really there for me, if I really am good, if I'm as good as I think I might be, then I'll be
So but you do care about it. I mean, it's not that you say, well, I just want to live for myself.
I want to live for myself, yeah. I want to do what I want to do.
The things you want to do, that's also performing, you know, be an artist. But
I want to be an artist. I mean, you can be an artist. I mean, I can sit in here and splat paint on the wall and be an artist, you know.
Well,
So, I mean, it just doesn't include me going around the world touring. I'm going to play a lot. I'll make another album. I'll make, I don't know how many more albums. When I don't feel like I have another album in me, I won't make another album. I'm not going to go in the studio again and say, you got to give us another album, so give it to us.
but you still want it for yourself. You still want.
I still love to play. I'll always love to play, I think. That's the way I feel now. I always love to sing. And I can't see myself stopping that, you know, cutting that off. I mean, I've been a singer since I was that high. I never did it professionally until like 4 years ago. But I always loved to sing, and I always will sing, you know. It's part of me, you know. It's part of my life. And music essentially is of my life, and is a big part of my life. It's just touring. Yeah, touring is not something that, I mean, I've done it. I've played the biggest places in America, I've played the biggest places all over, you know, and I've done really well. I've been really successful. I'd like to leave touring on a very high note, you know. I mean, I'm leaving it in like London, playing a football stadium, 45,000 people. It's going to be incredible. It's a great place to leave it, rather than coming around 3 years later, playing some pub somewhere, you know, 14 people show up. Yeah, you know, no, White City, you know. Yeah, okay.
Great.
I hope it will be great. I mean, I would like to end it great. I mean, I would like me to feel. I mean, if critics rubbish me the next day, I don't care. I mean, I don't
think you played Wembley and it was great. I was with it. I don't think there's nothing more to do.
This is the last one.
highest point.
No, this is, I would say this would be like it, you know. I mean, 6 concerts at Wembley. You can't really go out and do it all in one, you know. You have to sort of save yourself, because you got 5 more to do, you know. And it drains you on losing voice, and you do this, and you know, you just can't do it all in one. I like to go out and just do one, 45,000 people, just be the energy in the place should be incredible.
You don't be sometimes afraid about the kids. I mean, I saw you yesterday night, and I was sitting in the front row, and I had the audience behind me, and I was feeling a little bit, yeah.
Well, if I see someone come in full blast, running after me, I mean, screaming and going like that, I mean, it does give you a tendency to shy away a little bit, but I mean, I think that their intention, even though I could be hurt, and I have sort of been scratched and my hair pulled and stuff. See, when they get, I mean, it's sort of like a thing to do, you know. I mean, it's like a thing to do to me. Everybody knows when there are a group of kids around, or when there are more than like 5 or 10 or 20, they should scream, or they should yell, or they should try to get a piece of my clothes or something like that. But if there was one, and she came screaming, and I said, "Stop!" like that, she wouldn't know what to do. You know, I mean, what would you do? She went, you know, I mean, what do you do? You know, nice to meet you, and goodbye. It's just sort of like a release, and it's like a thing to do it, and they really get off doing it. And that's okay. That's really good. I mean, I'm really glad I can be at the focal point of all that energy, and all that release, you know. So that's really nice. But, yeah, I don't really go through any big fear trips, you know. When I'm going into concerts and stuff like that, I really sort of sometimes get paranoid because there are like so many people around, and if like I were to fall or trip or something and they were all to come tumbling, they wouldn't even know, you know. I mean, sometimes you get involved, like you see it happen sometimes in a crowd, someone will fall and they'll all just wave and just go over, and that scares me. Mostly scares me that, you know, like there's been a lot of write-ups about me that I've been like a health hazard and I've been this and that at my concerts. My concerts are, in my estimation, I mean, you think about what's going down in football in England and how many people get killed and broken arms. I played like to about 200,000 people in Australia or something like that. I mean, lots and lots and lots of people. And one girl broke her wrist. And hundreds of them passed out, and there were hundreds of ambulances and stuff. But the next day they said nothing about the concert, nothing about who played, nothing about any of the music, nothing about anything other than 400 kids were taken and treated for exhaustion and treated for, I mean, they didn't mention the fact that it was 100 degrees and they're standing out in the sun for like 6 hours sometimes, you know? I mean, that's a joke. That's a joke. I mean, and I become like a villain because that is my intention to make people pass out or do any of that stuff. I want to come and play, I want to come and sing, and I want to have a good time, and I want them to have a good time. And I mean, they did have a good time. And they just didn't print that because that wasn't really newsworthy. The newsworthy stuff is the stuff that, well, the ambulances and the police and all that, the riots and the stages collapsing. And the stage collapsed, you know, that happened. The thing started caving in, they were cooking, they were rocking and rolling. I mean, it happens to a lot of other groups too.
The thing didn't do that, doesn't sound.
That wasn't me, no. I mean, it was like, just, anyway. Time is right.
Okay, the corner's out.